You guys want to hear a crazy story of when I was 14 years old? This was around the time that I was in that gifted program. This might have actually been before that. I might have been 13 when this happened. But I met this girl on the bus, and always meeting crazy motherfuckers on the bus. Cue my stalker story. But I met this girl on the bus. She had the most unique name. I've never heard anybody with this name anymore. I'm gonna say it because I don't think you could ever find her. But her name was like Tina. And she lived pretty close to me because we'd take the bus home together, right? And I would hang out with her on the bus. I had literally had no classes with her. I just met her at the bus stop and we became friends. And then one day she was like, "Oh, you should come over for a sleepover." And I was like, "Hell yeah." So, and she lived really close to me. So I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm going to go to your house for a sleepover." So I go to her house. First of all, I'm taking the bus home with her that day. And she's like, "Yo, like, we should smoke weed tonight. Like, we should smoke weed for the first time tonight." And I was like, "I'm so down." And I was like, I don't know how to find weed. I'm 13, right? And this girl, keep in mind, she's a year younger than me. She's 12 while this is happening, but she wants to smoke weed bad. And I was like, you know what? I'm down. And so she goes up to some girl on the bus who like looked like a fucking freak. Okay, I'm so sorry to say this, but she looked like a freak, maybe like a 21-year-old, 18, 19, 20-year old, like goth, red hair, gauged ears, like just like looked like she worked at Hot Topic or a tattoo parlor, which was like the perfect person to ask where to get weed from. And Tina asked her like, where can I buy weed? And at first the girl was like, "Oh, like I can sell you some." And we were like, "Oh shit, we're gonna get the weed." And then the girl was like, "How old are you though?" And Tina said 12. I was like, "Girl, why'd you fucking tell the truth, bro?" And the girl was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna sell to you because you're 12." And I was like, fuck. And so what we ended up doing, we were still fiending for weed, don't worry. We went to like her neighbor's house because she was friends with this like girl who was her neighbor who was like a couple years older than us. So she was probably 15, okay? We went to her 15-year-old neighbor's house. Knock on the door. Could we talk to Billy? That was her name, okay? We talked to Billy. Billy comes out and we're like, "Yo, we need weed for tonight." And Billy, 15, has smoked weed before. Oh my god. So we asked Billy for some weed, right? And then Billy is like, "All right, like, I know a guy who could maybe sell to us." Now, keep in mind, Billy's hanging out with us, okay? Billy's coming to the sleepover now. We got 3 motherfuckers trying to get weed for the night. So we walked to this guy's house who I don't even remember his name. He kind of like freaked me out. He was like a really like tall, scary looking fucking weirdo who ended up being like really weird and would like fuck 6th graders. He was in 8th grade, okay, and he was fucking 6th graders, which looking back on it, like it's not that bad, but at the time, I was like, it's kind of bad, right? Like you're 8th grade, you're 6 feet tall, like why are you hitting on the 12-year-olds? Like we're all minors here. I guess it's nothing like statutory, but it's like still like why are you hitting on the fucking 12-year-olds, bro? You're fucking 6 feet tall, have a beard damn near. Anyways, I think his name was like Degenerate. Okay, let's just call him Degenerate. So we go to Degenerate house now, 3 of us, and we're knocking on Degenerate door, and Degenerate is like, "Oh, I don't have any weed." But then he started like mad dissing us, and he was like, "What you do, babysitting?" And we were like, "Fuck off." Like I had $10. I was ready to buy that shit from him, but he didn't have anything. So we're down bad. It's like late already. Like we're walking around town trying to get weed, asking fucking bitch on the bus type shit. And now we go back to Tina's house, empty-handed. We have nothing. Now keep in mind, like I was kind of off put by this girl's living situation. I didn't realize what I was getting into sleeping over at this girl's house, and neither did my parents apparently when they gave me permission. But what I noticed and what I remembered about this girl's house is that they were really bad hoarders, and her parents were like fighting each other, like abusive, like they were fighting each other in front of us, like. And she had like a 5-year-old sister who was sleeping on the floor, and there was like Tina did not have a bedroom, okay? She slept on like the fucking couch. We slept on the floor and it ended up sleeping on the floor. Well, I'll get to that, but it was just like a really fucking weird like living environment, like damn near like neglectful and abusive, and I didn't expect that because she didn't like come across. I guess she was a little rebellious trying to smoke weed at 12 years old. But I was kind of like, ooh, like I kind of want to go home. Like I kind of don't want to sleep here, but we'll get to that. So what happened is, you know, I'm at her house. Her sister's screaming. There's shit everywhere. Like it's like literally TLC hoarders situation. Her parents are like beating each other. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And Tina is still like, nah, we're gonna smoke tonight. Like we're gonna smoke. And I was like, what are we gonna smoke? And she was like, we're gonna smoke tea. Like I have tea. Like let's smoke the tea. Like literal like this, okay? This. And she's like, I have like she brought out like a A4 office paper. I know that was crazy, right? Being no, it was actually wild. And I found out later that her parents actually beat the fuck out of her all the time. They were just like not beating her because her friends were home or her friends were there. But anyways, so she was like, we're gonna smoke tea. And she brought out like an A4 size piece of office paper and a couple of tea bags. And she was like, all right, let's roll. Guys, we rolled joints out of A4 paper and tea bags, okay? They were the worst looking joints ever. Obviously, it's fucking printer paper and it's tea. Like there was no filter. It was just like the most saddest, pathetic, like rolled up tea. All right. And so now we're gonna go smoke this, right? And Billy's with us, by the way. Billy's still with us. So me and Tina and Billy, we gotta go smoke, right? We were like, we're gonna go on a walk. I think we said something like, oh, Billy has to pick something up from her house. We're gonna go walk over there, right? So we walk over there. We start smoking this fucking tea. And it was just like so random. Like it was the most fucking stupid thing ever. Now that I think about it, like it was just like nothing happened. Like no smoke inhalation was going on. The joint was poorly rolled. There was like probably the weakest airflow ever. It hurt like a bitch because it's printer paper and tea. And so like honestly, like after the first joint, I was like, I'm good. Like, I don't really want to fucking smoke that second one. Like, I'm chilling, right? Whatever. We smoked the tea. I'm kind of like, fuck, yeah, like, what happened? But listen to what happens. We go back to Tina's house. Me, Billy, Tina, right? It's pretty late by now, you know. We ate some pizza. It was fine for a second. The parents stopped beating each other. It was like, whatever. We're on the living room floor, all right? And all of a sudden, like, we're, like, lying down, just, like, talking, like, kiki little sleepover, about to go to bed soon. There's a movie on the TV type shit. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I feel really sick. I feel really, really, really sick. I go to the bathroom, projectile vomit, projectile vomit, projectile vomit. I can't stop fucking vomiting, okay? I'm, like, vomiting so much. And I was like, yo, like, was that the tea? Like, what? Was it the pizza? Was it the tea? Was it just this, like, shit environment I'm in right now? Like, and I couldn't stop throwing up. Like, usually, like, I don't throw up too much, but, you know, like, a regular stomach ache, you throw up once or twice and it's done. But, like, I got food poisoning, okay? I was it was either food poisoning or legit something in that fucking tea joint fucked me up that bad. Projectile vomiting really bad. Her mom comes over to the bathroom. She's like, do you need anything? I'm like, you need to call my mom right now and tell her to come pick me up, even though I could walk home in fucking 5 minutes. I'm not doing that. My mom's picking me up. I was literally like, call my mom right now, because part of me was like, I can't be going through this right now in this household. Like, if I'm gonna be throwing up projectile vomit, it's gonna be at my house up the street. So she called my mom. I have like such a distinct like photographic memory of like me being at the toilet, and she told me like, your mom's here, and Billy and Tina packed all my stuff up for me because I'm puking. I can't go and fucking leave the toilet. And her mom tells me, your mom's here. We packed up your stuff. It's in the car. Like, are you ready to go? And I was like, yep. And I ran from the bathroom to the front door. As soon as I get in the front yard, projectile vomit all over the front yard. I'm projectile vomiting all over the front yard. I literally couldn't stop. It was so bad. Like, if I close my eyes, I remember what it looked like. And at a certain point, I was like, we just gotta go. And, like, my mom brought me, like, a bucket. I guess they told her, like, yo, she's throwing up like crazy right now. Like, and my mom brought me a bucket. And we drove home. It was literally a 2-minute drive. I went back home. Whatever. The story's not over, okay? The story's not over. I had the worst. I think it was food poisoning, but like in my head I was like, fuck, was it that joint? Like if it was, like how come no one else was throwing up is my question. We all ate the same food. We all smoked the tea joint, whatever. I had the worst food poisoning for like a day after, or like I'm going to call it food poisoning, but I don't really fucking know. Whatever, okay? It's Saturday, I'm throwing up. It's Sunday, I'm still pretty sick, but no longer throwing up as much, right? Monday comes. Keep in mind, when we were smoking the tea joints, this bitch, Tina, of course she's gonna pull out her fucking iPhone 3GS and take a bunch of photos of us while we're doing this. Like, of herself, of me, of Billy, okay? And I didn't even really think about that until Monday. Tell me why. This girl sent the photos of us smoking the tea joint to like all her friends at school. I got randos messaging me on Kik saying, "Is it true that you, Tina, smoked weed on Friday?" I was like, what the fuck? Like, why'd you tell I remember being so pissed. I was like, why'd you tell, like, at least leave me out of it. Like, if you're gonna tell everyone you smoked weed when you didn't, sure. But, like, leave me the fuck out of it. Because now I got randos messaging me on Kik asking me if it's true I smoke weed. And, like, when you're in middle school and you're 12 years old, it's, like, big drama if you smoked weed, okay? Big drama. Yeah, Kik, right? Not Kik, K-I-C-K, but K-I-K. Yeah, K-I-K, the grooming app. I got bitches messaging me on Kik asking, is it true that you smoked weed? I'm like... the fuck? Like, I remember just being like, who the fuck told you that? And they're like, Tina. And I was like, man. And so I texted Tina. And I was like, why are you telling everyone that? Like, what? We didn't even smoke weed. Like, leave me out of it at least. And you know what she told me? She was like, yo, like, the school found out and they told my parents and my dad beat the fuck out of me when I got home because he thinks I smoked weed. And I was like... And I was like, oh my god. And then somehow I escaped the charges. Like, the school, like, didn't come after me personally. But I was asking Tina. I was like, yo, like, your parents aren't gonna snitch on me, are they? Like, they're not gonna call my parents and tell them, right? This bitch, bro, she was like, yo, they probably will. Like, honestly, they're probably gonna call your mom and tell them. And I like, lost my shit because I was like, oh my fucking god, like... I don't want to have that beef with my parents right now, bro. I'm 13. Like, I don't want that beef, okay? I really didn't want that beef. And, like, I was so fucking anxious when she told me that her dad was going to tell my parents that we smoked weed. And, like, I don't even think she told her fucking dad, like, it was just tea. Like, I think she fully took the beating and just left. And I was like, that's how hardcore dedicated she was to having people believe she was a stoner when we smoked tea, bro. Tea. I swear, it was, like, jasmine tea. Oh, my God. So I was, like, really fucking nervous that her dad was gonna tell my dad. And at the time, I was only 13. I didn't get in that much trouble yet, okay? 14 is when I started getting in that much trouble. So I've really repressed this story and I don't know what just extracted the whole thing out of me, full context. I'm remembering every detail. But once she told me that her dad was going to tell my parents, and they had my mom's phone number because my mom had to come pick me up at like 1 a.m. when I was throwing the fuck up, right? So I was like, they have their contact. They can call my mom and I really don't want them to. So I just remember I got home from school that day. My dad's on the couch, right? I just, like, sit beside him and start fucking bawling. And my dad is like, what is wrong? What is wrong? And, like, I was crying so hard. And in, like, one fast run-on sentence, like, no pauses, I was just like... Me and Tina smoked tea leaves and she told everybody it was weed and everybody at the school thinks we smoked weed and she told her dad it was weed and her dad beat the fuck out of her and she said that her dad's gonna tell you that I smoked weed but it wasn't weed, it was tea, it was just tea, it was just tea. And my dad was literally like, he didn't even, like, laugh. I don't know how he didn't laugh. I should ask him about that and be like, do you remember when that happened? Because, fuck, I low-key repressed that until today. Yeah, I told him everything. I was like crying, and like as a child, I was really like not like I didn't have like a great personal relationship with my parents. Things were very cold. I felt very distant at home. I felt like the odd one out. I never told my parents anything like that. Like anything about what I'm up to or anything. I really tried to keep them in the dark to keep the peace, you know? But that time I was like, I can't have like I gotta be the one to fucking break the news that the whole school thinks I smoked weed with Tina and Billy, and I fucking didn't. Okay, we tried. We tried. We asked the girl on the bus. We asked degenerate. We asked Billy. Like we really did try to smoke weed, but we didn't. We didn't. And yeah, I think my dad's I'm trying to remember my dad's reaction. I'm pretty sure he was just like confused. He was like, "Okay." Like, thanks for telling me. But I was like, I just want to let you know in case he calls you and tells you that I smoked weed. I didn't. It was tea. It was just tea. Like, I didn't smoke any weed, I promise. Keep in mind, weed is still illegal at this time, right? And my mom is like, would literally beat me if she found out I smoked weed when I was 13. How you rolled it? Like dead ass a piece of office paper. We cut like a rolling paper sized corner of a fucking piece of printer paper. Put the tea in the middle and just like fucking twisted. Like it was so whack. Like it was not a real joint. I still remember what it looks like. It was no, yeah. Like I'm pretty sure that was really bad to do. I don't know why I actually have no idea why we did that. Looking back at it, I'm like, I think Tina really wanted to make her like she really wanted to be on that badass shit and like, you know, like rep stonerism in middle school as a 6th grader. And I respect that, but I think she was so dedicated to the bit that she was like down to smoke tea. And this was her idea, by the way. Like I take no responsibility for coming up with this idea, but unfortunately, I am like easily influenced and I was just like, sure, let's do it. Yeah, I don't regret it now because it's honestly the funniest story ever, but at the time I was like, oh, I don't even fucking want to smoke that fucked up joint. It was so bad. Why is she telling everyone? I'll never forget that a girl did message me on Kik and she was like, is it true that you and Tina smoked weed on Friday? And I was like, why the fuck are you? You're not even my friend. Like, you're not even someone I would ever tell that to. Like, why the fuck are you? I don't know where she is now. She actually left. I think, like, she was, like, literally, like, I don't want to say she was a problem child because her home life was awful. It was terrible. But she ended up, like, going to a private girls' school before, like, it was, like, the year after this happened. She left my school and went to some private girls' school. I remember she was, like, really good at soccer. But I never saw her again. Like, after that year, I literally never saw her again in my life. And so, if you're out there, Tina, that was funny as fuck. Like, what we went through that little weekend, that was funny as fuck. Smoking printer paper is why you're tired at 7. No, literally, you ate with that. That has to be it, right? Like, that has to be it. When I smoked printer paper over 12 years ago. I think I'm out of my mind. My body hurts, I'm thirsty all the time. No matter where I turn, I found that nothing saves me from this place. Tina. I fuck with Tina. Billy.